Hey everyone, and welcome to PPR Esports OCE Division around the Circuit of the Americas. This is our first league race here as a full-time driver, so a little bit more riding on this one than previous races we've done here. And just looking to back up good results from previous races. I think we've had 2 second places in the ones we've had so far, so yeah, really looking to keep pushing forward with some good results. Anyway, into qualifying, this is our second lap here, and you'll see we're not doing too badly, bit iffy on the delta there, but just a bit lazy through that last section of the S's and just cut the corner a little bit too much. And that's a bit of a problem for us at the moment, because you can see in the top left we haven't set a valid lap time yet. And we're qualifying currently down in 18th, so this lap that we're just starting now, we really need to make sure it counts, otherwise we're going to have a big task on our hands to score points or have any sort of good result. But anyway, leading into turn 1 now, really tricky braking zone, very easy to lock the front and tyres up, and very difficult to get the car turned in for the apex, but we got through it fairly easily. Nearly spin the car there, just getting on a little bit too much on the curbs, but for whatever reason it can pull you round there a little bit. Very, very lucky not to spin the car. And we're down 2/10 in the first sector off of our best lap, so it's not looking great at the moment. We've got a lot of work to do in these next 2 sectors if we have any hope of getting right up the grid for the start of this race. Trying to get as good an apex and exit as possible here onto the back straight. Very, very important corner. I nearly spun. And we've really not done it. We're still that same 2/10 behind, not improving at all along this straight. Just really poor exit. Same thing here, trying to cut that curb as much as possible. We gain, what, 300s there? Nothing special. But now through this third sector, we're starting to close that gap in. Really clean braking into this left-hander. And we've almost gotten back to even with our best invalid time now. So now just trying to hold it tight around this multi-apex corner here. Got to absolutely send it through this left-hander. We're up nearly a 10th now. And coming through this final corner now, Grid Joke sets the fastest lap with a 31.8, and we beat it by an entire 1,000 to get pole position. So,
bro, you should see my fucking slide.
Absolutely insane final sector, and he's just managed to get away with it despite that spin off the start. But anyway, on to the start of the race, looking for a soft to hard strategy here, starting on the softs. Just looking for as clean a start as possible. And away we go, and it's not too bad. We didn't have much wheel spin, but we did bog down a little bit, maybe up to 4th a little early. That's given Grid Jokes the opportunity up the inside into turn 1. And also our teammate Lights up the inside of us as well. We hold it side by side through turn 2 here, but ultimately we decide to just back out here, let him have the position into the S's. We don't want to risk a collision this early into the race, and we just want to make sure that, you know, we don't end our race on lap 1. Obviously, it would have been nice to hold on to P2, but much, much better option just to let him have the position for now and work together later in the race for a better result at the end rather than ending it all on the first lap. Anyway, just trying to settle into a rhythm now, sticking behind Grid Jokes and Lights. I believe Grid Jokes at this stage is very much in contention for the championship. Lights as well. Championship leader of Joker had poor qualifying, I believe, down outside the top 10. So he's got a lot of work to do. But yeah, just focusing in and settling into the pace with this top 3, or top 5 at this stage, all pretty close together. On lap 3, though, you can see Grid Jokes has started to pull away from Lights a little bit, so I was getting a little bit nervous. Really didn't want to be losing DRS to Grid Jokes. It's quite difficult to get back into DRS once you've lost it on this game. It provides a massive advantage on the straights through in terms of lap time, so very, very important not to lose it. So we use a little bit of ERS here on the exit of the back straight and open up the DRS, and we're just going to cruise past our teammate here. Not use too much ERS, and yeah, just go up the inside here, just so we have the opportunity to chase Grid Jokes down over the next few laps, make sure we don't lose that DRS. You can see it's already a gap of 1.8 seconds in front of us, so we do have a little bit of work to do to try and get that DRS back, and honestly this isn't my strongest track, so I was a little bit concerned But on lap 5, we're on the brink of getting it. We just got to make sure we maximize our exits through all of these corners, just to try and keep right within that DRS range. You can see we just managed to get within that 1 second at the activation, or the detection zone, sorry. But we are starting to struggle on these soft compound tyres a little bit. You saw we didn't quite get the car turned in for the second last corner. And it's not easy at this point. We're managing to keep a fairly consistent pace, but the car is wanting to slide quite a bit at the moment, so we are sort of fighting it a little bit to try and keep within DRS now. Although through this first sector we are closing in considerably. I did notice throughout this race that we did seem to be quite strong through this first sector compared to the cars around us. I wasn't sure if that was set up or just driving style or whatever, but I found I was quite comfortable through that section, chasing everyone else in this race. So we did have that up our sleeve if we did happen to lose DRS through the last sector of the track. Now skipping on to lap 7, coming to the end of a VSC actually. I think one of the back markers spun, didn't actually get any damage from it, but just did bring out the VSC. You see, Grid Joke seems to be a little bit asleep. We've got over a second of delta there off the start, and we get him quite easily off the restart there. So not sure what was going on, whether he just wasn't paying attention. But that's an easy position for us. And Light's also managing to get past in the hairpin as well. So looking quite good for the Ferraris at this point. Long way to go still in this race though, unfortunately. If it stopped right here, that would be brilliant for us. Anyway, on to lap 8. So one more lap later, Lights actually pitted at the end of the previous lap. And planned for this lap, pit onto the hards, go to the end. So just trying to keep it calm, but Grid Jokes has other ideas. He goes up the inside, obviously wanting to get into the pits before us, gets the move done. Try and fight him back a little bit around the outside, but he covers that off pretty well. Look for the inside again there, but have to back out of it as he squeezes us a little bit. And that's that move done. Wasn't too stressed about it. I felt like we still had the pace, but I would have preferred to be in front as we went into the pits, but still confident that I was on the right strategy and had the pace to at least make a really good battle of it at the end of the race. So we duck into the pits now. Making sure to keep it within the lines and making sure we definitely don't speed into the pit lane. That's going to be something interesting for future races now that I've turned the line off. But yeah, just now after this pit stop, going on the hard tyres, the focus is just pure consistency lap after lap. Yeah. So the cars around us all, for the most part, pitting onto the mediums, I believe. Yeah, so everyone that's pitting this lap other than us is currently going onto the medium tyres. So they are going to have the advantage over the next 20 laps or so, but they can't make it to the end from here on these tyres. They're gonna really struggle. And you can see on lap 13, we've lost 3.5 seconds to Lights and Grid Jokes in front. So obviously those medium tyres are a little bit stronger at the moment, but we're doing well to hold this gap. We're also not too worried about Snags here getting past. We pretty much let him by, knowing that he had to pit still as well. A little bit of contact there. He broke a little earlier than I was expecting, but no damage for either of us. And we're good to continue on. We're just planning on following him through, sucking out a bit of free DRS from him, and just cruising along at our own pace, saving ERS for later in the race. But skipping on now to lap 16, and we've held that gap, but we've got a yellow flag in front, and our teammate spun around. Very unfortunate for him, not great for Ferrari either, but main thing is he's still in the race and can still go for some decent points, so that's good at least. On to lap 19, still holding DRS to Snags, cruising pretty much, looking to maybe make a move here at the end of the straight, but we get a safety car, and that essentially completely nullified the advantage we had of being on the hards to the end of the race. So now we are forced to jump on the same strategy as everyone else, pitting onto the softs. And yeah, we're just going to have to really fight this one out. Not what I was hoping to do.
Much closer
So
pit lane, to be honest.
yeah, hopefully we can jump Snags in the pits here. I think as he actually has a little bit of a double stack here, so we have a good opportunity to jump him here as we jump on the soft compound tyres.
Thank you.
And yeah, we've managed to do it. So up into second place now before this safety car restart. We're in a really, really good position now to win this race, as long as we can keep it clean and get a clean move done. Jumping ahead to the restart now, tyres were very cold. It was very difficult to get them to warm up on any restart around here for whatever reason. Not sure why. They're overheating most of the time. But we go through the final corner now. Pretty good restart. We're on to Grid Jokes quite well. Lost what? A little under 3/10, so not too bad. We weren't completely asleep like we tend to be for most safety car restarts. Didn't lose any positions, and we're in a really, really good position to the end of this race now to get this move done and get this win in the bag. We just got to make sure we keep it completely clean through the rest of this race and just save up as much ERS as we possibly can. A little bit lazy here. That was our second warning, so very, very risky here at the moment on our track limits warnings. One more and we get a penalty. So we are going to have to be a little bit more careful through the rest of this race, but just mostly making sure we stay in DRS, don't use too much ERS, and have plenty of time left in the race to get this move done. And yeah, but on to lap 27 now. A little bit worried here at this point. We're 7.5 tenths behind, so a little bit further back than I'd like to be, but we're now sort of looking for the move here. We try and get as good an exit as we possibly can. Open up that ARS right now. DRS open and just absolutely flying towards Grid Jokes now. A little bit of weaving from him trying to break the slipstream a little bit. We dive it up the inside. And he fights us back a little bit. We give him a big old squeeze to the outside there, not really giving him much room at all. But he keeps the nose in, so we have to leave space on the next apex, holding it around the outside. Really good close battling here. He tries to get us back around the outside, but very, very hard to get anyone around the outside there on that corner. So it does yield, and we get the lead of this race heading into the final lap. But wasn't over. You can see heading onto the back straight now, the gap is less than half a second. So Grid Jokes has plenty of opportunity here to get this move done still. We have 30% ERS left over, so we absolutely juice all the way along this straight, trying our best to make sure we stay in front of Grid Jokes before the braking zone. Give ourselves the best chance of defending. He dives it up the inside. We have to leave him the space there, but we get the traction there on the exit of the corner. Managed to just hold him off, and that's that position secured. All that's left for us to do now is just try and keep it clean all the way to the end. Make sure we have no mistakes, no time penalties on these final few corners, and just make sure we bring this result home, which honestly, we haven't been very lucky in this league yet, so I was really hoping for this one as we come through the final corner now to take this race win.
Come on, boys!
I was very happy with that. Dodgy qualifying, we just managed to get pole and then race win as well. Really good results. Very, very happy with that. Last few laps, as I said, were very sweaty. Trying to keep in range of Grid Jokes and get the move done and then defend on the final lap. So very, very happy with that. But yeah, good result in the end. Unfortunate for lights spinning at the end. Bit unlucky for Ferrari, but good result overall. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. I'll have more videos of this in the coming weeks, as I am full-time now, and AFR is starting up again. I should have had a video for that for the last race, but we had a little bug that had us DNFing on lap 2, so very unfortunate, but there won't be a video for that one. I'll have one out for Imola, I believe, is the next one coming up for that, so looking forward to it, and we'll see you all then.